Hello and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow together. Well, in that vein, what we're going to do is uppot these hydrangea starts that I've started in these containers using the winter bottle method, but of course it's not winter, it is late summer. And I find that it works effectively because it provides for the little starts some protection, moisture, and all that they need so that they can grow some roots. And that is exactly what these hydrangea starts have been doing. They've been growing roots, and you can see that in the container here. I'm going to take this off and open it up so that you can see the roots. All right, so let's open this up and see what we've got here. Oh my, we have a wonderful little hydrangea plant, and it's a good thing that I am going to uppot it because the leaves were getting a little pressed there, and they've grown some new leaves, some fresh leaves here in that short time. And you can see the roots are definitely growing here, and this plant is saying, uppot me, time for you to give me a new home. And let me just, yeah, it has roots. I'm pulling it up here. I'm just trying to pull it up there a little bit, and it is definitely it has rooted in it. Has definitely developed roots. Let's see if we see any roots at the bottom. No, I don't see any roots at the bottom of this, but we definitely see roots here at the side. And we can see that it is kind of hard to pull at it. I'm tugging at it and it's not budging. So what I have here is some Miracle-Gro potting soil and a container that I got from the Dollar Tree. I'm repurposing it because I had some other plants in it, but right now I'm going to put that this hydrangea plant in the pot here, and then I'm going to cover it with this cloche, and put it in a nice cool shaded location, and allow it to grow on some more and let it grow through the winter. And then later on, I'm going to put it in the garden. Over here, amongst all of my little plants and so forth, I have an example of that. And this is what I'm going to be doing right there, like this. In it, I have a hydrangea start, and I put it in this pot so that it can stay, safe and sheltered. And that's what I'm going to do with this other plant. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just fill this container with soil, filling up the bottom. Okay, so I filtered up about halfway full with soil. And what I'm going to do now is take this out. Let's see if we have any. I'm going to take the plant out of here and put it inside. See, I'm going to take my little plant and put it inside of the pot. Ooh. So you can see that I've just lifted it up out of the pot, and I put it in here. You see the roots there as well. And what we're going to do now is just add the soil around it, and it is going to be quite nice. Look at that, my nice little plant there. I need to come up to this amount here of soil so that I can reach those roots and cover them. The Miracle Grow potting soil has fertilizer in it, which is really good, so that my plant will have fertilizer for the winter or throughout the winter season while it's in this container. However, when I had planted it in this plastic bottle, I used compost from my garden, a leaf compost and other mixtures of different things, grass clippings, leaf compost or leaf mulch and so forth, and it had broken down, and I used that material in this container here. And then I added just a little bit of potting soil that I had gotten from Home Depot that I put in there as well. And it's mostly compost. So my point is that in this pot, it has the compost that it was originally planted in. It still has that, but it also has potting soil, which has fertilizer in it as well. And as it continues to grow, it will be moistened, just like how it has had the dome over it, or the bottle that had the condensation. It will be naturally watered that way. But then as the season progresses, I'll continue to look at it, and I could also fertilize it with some liquid fertilizer through the opening. But I don't think I'm going to need to do that until the spring. I just wanted to grow some strong roots so that it can last a long time in my garden. When I plant it, it will survive. And it can grow a bit in this pot too. I'm actually glad that it's in this size pot, because then it can be a really nice plant in the spring. It can develop into a nice plant, maybe even for Mother's Day. I'll be able to give it away if I wanted to. But I don't think I do, but you know what I mean. Anyway, that's what it looks like. So what I'm going to do now is water it in and make sure that it is happy in its new home, cover it up, seal it, and then put it away like I've done with the other one, the previous one. I have this old plastic pot here that I decided to put it inside of, because when the winter months come, I want it to be a little bit more protected, the roots to be protected than they are. And so I'm putting it in this pot here, and then that way I can move it around and find a location, probably under one of my arborvitae trees, where it can overwinter there in a sheltered location. But it'll be pretty much kept fairly secure from the elements. However, right now I've placed it side by side the other one that I had put together last Saturday, I think, or the Saturday before. And so I have now two wonderful plants here. And they will just stay here. I put them in this sort of shady spot in between so that they won't get direct sunlight, but they will get enough light so that it can still photosynthesize and that the roots can develop. I still have these 3 more to do, and I think that I'm going to just clean them up a little bit, because there were some seeds in the soil, as you can see, that were growing along with them. So I'm going to open them up and pull those seeds and just add some more soil to them, since they don't have the roots exposed. And I have this other one as well, which is in the same or similar condition. So I'm just going to add soil to these 2. Now this one has roots, and the roots are there, so I'm going to pot it, but in a smaller pot. It doesn't need such a large pot as the other one that's there. And then I'll be finished. So this is how this one looks inside this one. And as you can see, there are some little seedlings growing in there with them. So I'm going to pull them out. But then also, we can also see a lot of roots that just need to be covered. Pull that out. And there's still plenty of room. This is not too high. Wow, it's in there. Definitely is in there. It has very much rooted in. See, I tugged at it and it came up. So I'm going to push it right back down. Yeah. But it's pretty good. Let me lift it up so you can see. See the roots growing? So I'm going to put it right back in there. So what I did was I added some more soil, and I also cut off these leaves because they were not helping. And I think that it has plenty of leaves here and new growth, so that now it can put more energy into root growth, and it still has plenty of leaves here that can help with the photosynthesis and the taking in of light and all that it needs. Yes. The soil has made the container a little bit heavy and a little clumsy to handle. So I decided to use this plastic pot, the other one that I had, and just pop it in there, and now this is ready to go. And I'll just put it in its new location here with the others. I'm just gonna hang out right there. Because I used compost from my garden, it had a lot of weed seeds in it. And look at that. They were just germinating along with everything else. So I am pulling them out of the container. And I'm going to add some fresh compost in it, just like I did the others. There's no need for me though to cut back any of these different leaves because they're pretty, they're small and they can still be in the container here and not be touching the plastic. It's a good size still. Okay, so this is nice and filled, and all I have to do is add the water, close it up, get another container to put it in, and this is done. Look at that, my nice little planty. It's so cute. This hydrangea is a pinnacle hydrangea, where the others were of the mop head style. And what had happened was that a piece of it had broken off, and I just decided that I would try to see if I can root it. And yes, it has worked out really well. So what I'm going to do is just add some more soil to it and allow it to develop some more roots. I'm not going to take it out of its container here. But yes, even when you get a plant and a stem breaks off with the hydrangea, you can root it. Just cut it and root it, and you will have another plant. Well, they're all watered in, and I found this container for this one, and I had this extra container here, so I'm going to put this one in it. And this has plenty of room to grow, so that when this finishes gaining some really good roots, I can actually up-pot it into this pot. So it's kind of good that I have this pot available, and I'm not going to have to be searching for pots, because we're just in September here. September, October, I can still pot it up in October, and it will still have time to root through November. So I think that this is good, a good stage for all of them right now. All of my beautiful hydrangea cuttings. Now remember, 3 of them are of the mop head style, and I think 1 is a lace cap. And then this one is of the pinnacle hydrangeas. Yeah. I hope that you enjoyed this process with me and learning about how to up-pot your plants. At the end of the video, so stay to the end, you will see a playlist that will explain to you how to go about propagating hydrangeas. And I also have a video that I'm going to also link of the process of how to up-pot and work with hydrangeas. And then you'll see the end results. A lot of the hydrangeas in my hydrangea lane and in other parts of my garden are from propagating hydrangeas. If you want to see that, you can also look at the playlist and just follow me. Just subscribe and follow, and you will see the hydrangeas, in my garden. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time right here at Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow, 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 grow together. Bye.